What's up, everybody? It's Bill from High Volume Games, and welcome to Boston, Massachusetts for another press penny hunt. We are in the Common, and we're going to take a long trip over to Bunker Hill Memorial. This is called the Freedom Trail. So join me on this one. Let's go. So the Freedom Trail is a 16-stop, 2.5 mile walk. This is our first stop here in Boston Common. I've been here many times. This is usually where the start and end of the Walk for Hunger used to be. So I have been here a bunch. We're going to head up over to the next stop right now. All right, there's the Massachusetts State House. Stop 2 on our trip. All right, I couldn't show much of the State House. There's a protest going on over there for pollution. So I'm going to keep going. So basically we can head over to step number 3 now. We follow this brick path the whole way, and we just keep going. The next stop is Park Street Church. All right, this is Park Street Church. At one point, the tallest building in America. People, when they would come into Boston, would see this building first, which is pretty amazing because, you know, of all the high rises we have now, but that this was once the tallest building in the world. It's pretty amazing. And we're gonna move on. Alright, this is the granary, the burial ground. It has many famous historical figures like Ben Franklin's parents, John Hancock, Paul Revere, Samuel Adams. There's the bells from the Park Street Church playing in the background. They say if you want to find someone famous in here, just follow the groups, because every like 15 minutes there's a tour group, so they're all kind of going around. That's the stone of Samuel Adams right there. So right here is the Omni Parker House. It's not part of the Freedom Trail, but a famous hotel. And next to it is a part of the Freedom Trail. It is the King Street Church, the first Anglican church in America. And George Washington actually spoke here. Here's the King's Chapel burial ground. Governor Winthrop is here. So it's the first lady who got off the Mayflower. So you can go in. I just don't, there's a lot of groups and stuff, and I just figure I will just take a look. Here's a look at the lobby of the Omni Parker House as we head to our next stop. All right, so this is the old City Hall, but this site here is the home of Boston Latin, the first public school. It is now, there's a steakhouse here. We have the famous Democratic donkey in front of the elephant, the Republican elephant footprints. We have a statue of Josiah Quincy, and over here is a statue of Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin was a student here at Boston Latin. He did not end up graduating, but he was one of the most famous students, him, John Hancock. But this is a really nice statue. I did not know Ben Franklin had so much Boston in him. You know, I thought he was more Philadelphia, but no, he was born here, and he, you know, went to school here for a time. So there we go. So we're gonna head down the street to our next stop. But yeah, this is the old City Hall. It is now, well, the City Hall is just down the road, but this is pretty cool. So unfortunately, behind this paper here is the old corner bookstore, which is now a Chipotle. But this bookstore, or this publishing company, actually printed some of the most famous books, like Uncle Tom's Cabin, The Scarlet Letter, Walden, and more. So, but it's good. They're still preserving the building. It's a restaurant now, but you know, it's still going. It's several hundred years old. So, unfortunately, we can't see it in all its glory today, but that's okay. We'll definitely be coming back. So, now here is the Old South Meeting House. This is where the infamous meeting happened, where the American citizens, or the American patriots, you know, decided they were done with taxation without representation, and went and headed from here and went over to the shore and did the Boston Tea Party. So we're gonna go in, or we're gonna go check. Hopefully we can go in. I did hear there's a rumor there's a press penny here as well, so we're gonna check it out. So I think this is what the app was talking about, but it's actually souvenir medallions. They're different than press pennies, but they're collectible. I know Disney is doing a lot with these now too, so I'm sure I'll be getting into these. Well, let's get one. There's a bunch of there's 4 things, just like the other one. There's actually the Old South Meeting House, there's the Old State House, there's the Boston Tea Party, and there's Sam Adams. So I think since we're at the Old South Meeting House, we should get this one. So I paid $15, got my admission into the Old South Meeting House as well as the Old State House, which we're going to see in a few minutes. So that was a great pickup. And I also got my medallion. Alright, here's the Old State House. So we saw the new State House right at the beginning of the tour, but this is the original. When this country was just starting out, a lot of the new laws came through here. They actually read the Declaration of Independence to the people right out here, actually behind in the back. But I have a ticket to come in here, so let's check it out. here's the site of the Boston Massacre. Right here, just outside of the old State House. All right, the tour continues. We are here at Faneuil Hall Marketplace. It was a meeting house, and then became a marketplace, and then they added Quincy Market and South and North Market as well. Those are behind, and this is going to be our first stop for a press penny. In Quincy Market, there's supposedly, from what the penny app says, three press penny machines. So we're going to try to go see if we can get some. There's tons of food, tons of shopping here as well. Bathrooms, all good stuff, you know. So we might stop for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to eat. We'll see. Everything starts to spread out after this next stop. So everything I know from Faneuil Hall and Quincy Market, it is going to be busy and loud in there. So I'm going to record the press pennies, but I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me. So if it does, I'll throw music on and then type in what was there. But we're going to go check it out. All right, so we found the first penny machine. It is here. It looks like we got Boston, we got the Boston Red Sox, we got Faneuil Hall, and we got Big Poppy. And it's a $1 machine, so it takes credit card or dollar bills. So we're gonna put a dollar bill in and get our penny. Okay. Okay. And we got it. Boston Faneuil Hall. Let me see if I can put it over on the side. All right, we found number 2. This one's in the rotunda. This has New England Patriots, John F. Kennedy, Paul Revere, and another Faneuil Hall. And it is $1, so let's get our dollar bill. And we found number 3. This one has Little Brewster Island, Massachusetts, the Bay State, Boston Red Sox 2 championships, and the Battle of Bunker Hill. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know what we're going to decide yet, but just like the others, it's $1. All right, so I got 3 pennies. I got the state of Massachusetts one. I got the Faneuil Hall, and then I got the New England Patriots, but it's a soldier, colonial soldier. So with that, we're going to get back on this. This is where we've done most of the exhibits on the Freedom Trail, but this is now where the most walking comes in, because we got to get to the north end now, and then over to Charlestown, geez, for the Constitution and the Bunker Hill. We're going to end at Bunker Hill. So we'll see you in a little bit. I feel weird being on this side of Quincy Market because it actually reminds me of school field trips. This is where, on this side of Quincy Market would be where the buses picked up all the school kids. So it's like, it feels weird, but what a beautiful day. Check out the clock tower. Yeah, it's a really nice day. It's cool. I'm probably the only fool in shorts, but it is a nice day out today. All right, so there are my pennies. We got the Faneuil Hall, the New England Patriot, and the Bay State, Massachusetts. So I actually said no to basically all the food in there, although it was so torturous not to get it. But I got some honey stingers with me, so we'll take these for the second half. And we're back on the trail, so let's go. Now we're going to walk to the north end, so that's going to take a little bit. A couple of streets to cross, or major streets to cross. The ye old Union Oyster House from 1826. Alright guys, we are in the North End, Italian side of Boston. Lots of bakeries and restaurants and good food everywhere. So there's 2 stops here in the North End, and we're headed towards them. I really wanted to go to Modern Pastry for a cannoli, but I feel like if I ate that, yeah, my stomach would not make it the rest of the way. So next time. Alright, this is the Paul Revere house, home of the legendary Paul Revere, who made the Midnight Ride. And over there is Mike's Pastry. Also have great cannolis. I actually had that once before, but there is a line out the door for that one. Okay, here's the famous Paul Revere statue. It is actually, funny enough, I watched Godzilla 2, which had a great scene in Fenway Park, but yeah, this statue didn't make it in that movie. But there it is, the famous Paul Revere statue, as we head over to the church. There's a really nice park here, dedicated to all wars. And it's got a nice little fountain up here that we'll go check out. And our next stop here at Old North Church will have our next press penny. Okay, here's press penny machine number 4. This is at the Old North Church, and we got 2 lanterns. We got Paul Revere. We got the arrow and the Freedom Trail. And we've got the North End. So I think we're going to get the Old North Church and Paul Revere. And just like the others, it's $1. So we're going to put our $1 in. And there it is, the Old North Church. And it is a tall building. And yep, they put the 1 lantern, or the 2 lanterns up. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. They put the 2 up there. And Paul Revere went. They said to look at, in the Cobb burial ground, look at the tombstones on here. A lot of them have macabre type etchings in them. Interesting. Oh. And way off in the background there, you can see our finish line. The Bunker Hill Memorial way off in the back, but we have to cross the Charles River and stop at the USS Constitution as well before we make it. But it's kind of like Run Disney, you see Spaceship Earth, but you're still miles away. That's kind of like this. We got the Bunker Hill Monument in our sights, but we are still 2 miles away, or not really, probably a little over a mile away. All right, there's another one. This is Miss Dorcas Tiller. There's a lot of people in the 1700s named Dorcas. But yeah, we've found some in my family tree recently. Alright guys, 2 more stops. The next stop is not for a while. We have to go across the bridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my headphones on. I'll still video, but enjoy the music that I'm going to put on for this round.
Hey all, I'm back. Did you miss me? While Bill has his headphones on, let me take the time to remind you if you like this video. please hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.
All right, guys, we're back. That was a long walk, but good. So in context, I don't know what the editing is like, but it's 2 hours and 13 minutes into this journey. We've done 4.18 miles, and we've made it to our penultimate stop, which is the USS Constitution. Old Ironsides. Looks like they're doing something there. So we're going to just stay out here. But besides the ship in this naval yard, they have the Constitution Museum, which we're going to walk into. And that has a press penny, from what I hear, and it may have a medallion. Now, that'll be good, because apparently I've lost the South Meeting House medallion that I got. Unless it just magically shows up, I might have dropped it in the museum. But we're gonna head over and see what is inside. Apparently there's a pitch and putt over here. That's pretty amazing. Looks like for the 250-year service of the Navy. That's pretty cool. So we have we have a penny machine, and we have a medallion machine. So it's pretty dark, but the penny, actually it looks good on my camera. We have the anchor, we have an eagle, we have the Constitution, and we have a cannon. So we're definitely going to go for the Constitution since we're here. It is $1.01, and it takes quarters, so I'm going to break out the quarters. The USS Constitution cannon and the Constitution anchor. So we'll definitely I think we'll get the Bunker Hill one as the kind of a tribute to our end of our journey. Okay, I found the second one in this museum, and this one has the Boston Lighthouse. It has the Zinkham Bridge, has the Cassian Young, which is outside here, and the Bunker Hill. So we're going to get the Bunker Hill and finish out our day. Here's a fully rigged model of the Constitution. takes 5 million 5 million turns of this to, screw in all the nails that would be on a ship. And so far, this counter has been going since June 23rd, 2016, and there's still 3 million left. So people have been turning it, 2 million turns, but there's still 3 million more to go. There we go. I gave it a few. That was an amazing time at the Constitution Museum. That actually was fun. They got a lot of little interactive things going on in there. I didn't show a whole lot, but because there were people around and I didn't want to interrupt them, but it looked awesome. And we've got that cool mini golf course. So, we weren't able to go on the ship. It looked like they were doing something. So we're going to make sure on our next journey we get over there and check it out. But awesome to be here. Awesome view of, I don't know if you're catching it. I think you are. But that is such a great view of downtown Boston as well, being right here. So we're going to get ourselves going, find the trail again, and head on up. You can sort of see it through the tree line there, but just like I said earlier, the Spaceship Earth effect, you can see Bunker Hill right there behind that tree, but we now have to get from here to there, and then we're done. So let's go. There's a better shot of it. All right, we're on our way.
Didn't notice all the eyes.
We're just going to finish out. What's up, everybody? So I had filmed a outro video on top of Bunker Hill at the monument, and unfortunately, because of the internal mic or the external mic, the battery dying, we only had the internal mic left, and what ended up happening was between that and the FedEx truck going by and the wind gusting, you can hear me, but it sounds too rough to be on in the video. So I thought we'd come on, do this last one, talk about the trip, and go through what we got here on the table. overall, the trip was great. I've struggled with traveling, like cars. I get nervous stomach a lot, so I've been trying to get further and further out. And so getting to Boston, taking the Uber and the Uber, followed by the commuter rail, followed by the T to get just to the Boston Common. I mean, that was a win in itself. But then we got to take the Freedom Trail. And while people said 2.5 miles, I ended up with a 5-mile walk, which again, with the cardiac procedures I had last year, that's a great thing right there. 5 miles plus. There were some hills on that thing. Of course, Bunker Hill at the end, but the hill that went from Old North Church to the cemetery was not a small hill either. So overall, this was great for a lot of reasons. To get out, to get walking, and then the historical side of it. We got to see some amazing places. The Old South Meeting House, the old State Building. We went inside the USS Constitution Museum. We got to see a whole bunch of other places, some cemeteries, and it was just a wonderful day in Boston. And I look forward to doing it again. And we know we're going to do it again because we need to get more coins. So here's the 10 coins I got from this trip. We started off by going through those first 8 stops, and we ended up at Faneuil Hall. And so we got this first one. Now, this was on the right side. Now, basically what you're talking about, Quincy Market, you have the main hallway, which has all the restaurants in it, and then in the middle is the rotunda, and then to the right and the left are 2, like, I don't want to call them greenhouses, but it's kind of like that, where it's those extensions out of the building. But this one was on the right side, and this is the Faneuil Hall marketplace. So that was really cool. There was another Faneuil Hall that was actually just the main building, but I ended up not getting that this time. I figure we'll get that another time. So this was the New England Patriot. This was in the rotunda. I actually had to go to this one twice because the family was sitting basically on top of it when I got there, and I didn't want to be rude and, get out of the way. So I waited. I actually did the other one first and then came back for this one. And then on the left side of the rotunda and the extension is the Massachusetts, the Bay State one. So those were my 3 there. I figure, we're going to be safe as far as the, can we get the other ones? Because I don't think they rotate them out, because there's a Big Poppy. There's another one that said like 2004, 2007 world champion Red Sox, when they've won 2 more titles. So I think we're safe that we'll get all of those. So then we walked over to the north end and we went to the Old North Church, and we got this one with the Old North Church and Paul Revere. And so that is a really nice looking one. It's a little almost faded. It looks really good on camera right now, but some people complained on the Penny app that these are a little off center and this and that, but they're still really good looking. My goal is to get the ones that look good. So then we went to the USS Constitution Museum and we got this one, and that looks great. And we also got this one. We found the second machine. Now this is the Bunker Hill Monument. And then, now this one is not filmed because I'm trying to keep it for later, but I went, after I got done, I ended up, taking the T to South Station so I could get back on the train. And I stopped in South Station and got a penny a penny from their penny machine. Now, I didn't video it because I want to give South Station their own video at some point. I have a really fun idea about how to do South Station. So this is just Boston. This is, actually it looks much better on the camera right now if I tilt it. But yeah, you can tell these machines are a little older. Things are starting to fade, but that is a great pickup too. So we ended up with 7 pennies, and then I got these medallions. Now again, I don't collect medallions at the moment, but I guess I do now. But this is the Old South Meeting House. I did have this. This was in my wallet. So if you watched the video through, yeah, I thought I lost it, but no, it was in my wallet. I had put it there, and then, yeah, through the entire part from that Old South Meeting House to the, till I got home, basically, or on the tee, I did not know that that was in my wallet. Then I got the Zachem Bridge. I got this at the Constitution Museum. We saw the Zachem Bridge when I was walking with my headphones on. And I got the anchor. Now, I said in that video that I was going to get the Bunker Hill one of these. Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me. So they stole my money. But that's okay. Maybe another time it'll be working. So this is what we had so far, 7 pennies, and this penny is the carpetbagger penny, which I got from Etsy, so that technically doesn't count as far as, me going out and collecting it. And then this one my mom gave me, this is the Cape Run Park Zoo Tiger. So I've gone out and collected these 5, but now we have 7 more. Let's tilt that. There we go. So we are going to end up nearly filling this first page in just this one video. So that's going to be it for this week. Thanks a lot. I'm sorry that the last clip did not go through, but it was a great time overall, and I'm very happy that the mic made it through 95%. I mean, this was a very long day, so I can't blame the mic for that. But I look forward to do it again. I think next time what we're going to do is probably wait till winter, maybe if I can get one on a snowy day or a day after the snow, something like that. That would be awesome. But we're going to do it in winter, and we're going to go from Bunker Hill to the Boston Common. That way we can get a better, we can get a different view. Plus we can get, we'll start at Bunker Hill. We'll give Bunker Hill more love because unfortunately I was not able to get Bunker Hill some love in this one, but we'll give that. And then it's good for me because Boston Common is much easier to get home from than Bunker Hill. So we'll do all of the things. Plus we didn't see a bunch of things. We didn't see the inside of the Old North Church. We didn't see the inside of the King's Chapel. We didn't see, there's another one there that I can't remember, but there was 3 that I know for a fact that we can go into and we didn't see. So we're going to plan on doing that next time. So till then, I hope everyone's doing well. Sorry for this long rant at the end, but I wanted to let you know everything and how I felt. So till next time, I hope you're all well, and we'll see you again. Take care, everybody. Bye now.